Welcome. The following presentation is part of our Empowered initiative and will cover iPad care and handling. Students will be taking their iPads home for learning purposes. Some tips for home use. iPads should never be left unattended in a public place or in a car. Parents are encouraged to work with their students to set up home guidelines for the use of their iPad. Students are allowed to connect to wireless networks at home on their iPads. This will assist them with iPad use while at home. However, Wi-Fi use for homework will not be a requirement, as we know that all students do not have access to Wi-Fi. iPads should not be exposed to extreme heat or cold. Consideration should be given for leaving an iPad in a car during the winter or in the hot summer. All students will be issued a case with their iPad. Their case will look just like this one. It is a black cover. This case must remain on the iPad at all times. Students may not purchase their own case. They need to use the district-provided case. Students may choose to decorate their case with removable stickers or markings. However, they should not cover the asset tag on the back of the iPad. The iPad screens can be damaged if subjected to rough treatment. The screens are particularly sensitive to damage from excessive pressure on the screen, particularly on the corners. Do not lean on the top of the iPad. Do not place anything on or near the iPad that could put pressure on the screen. A common mistake that students make with the iPad is to think they can clean the screen with Windex, as the surface of the iPad resembles glass. Windex or any other abrasive cleaner should never be used to clean the iPad screen.
Notice how this student is using a special cloth designed for cleaning the screens of electronic devices. It's not an abrasive towel, paper towel, or anything that might scratch the face of his iPad.
Students are responsible for their iPad both when in use and when not in use. When students are not using their iPads, they should store the iPads in the locked hallway locker or their backpack. Nothing should be placed on top of the iPad when stored in the locker. When transporting the iPad to and from school, students should consider how they store the iPad in their backpack. Many backpacks have a padded sleeve or compartment where an iPad can be slid into. If a student does not have a padded compartment, the iPad should be placed on top of heavy books or other items in the backpack. Many students bring a water bottle to and from school. Please take caution in putting an iPad next to a water bottle that could leak. If you ever want to locate your child's iPad, you can always, from any web browser, go to iCloud.com. You can enter your child's Apple ID, which is their 197 email address, followed by their password. Upon logging in, you will see this icon called Find My iPhone. Even though your child has an iPad, the icon is still called Find My iPhone, and it can be used to locate their iPad. By clicking on it, iCloud will GPS locate any device tied to that Apple ID. Here you can see that I have multiple green dots. This first green dot represents my daughter's iPhone, who happens to be away for the weekend. Here you can see I've located my own device. Now, if you find that the device is located, let's say, at your home, but you're unable to find it, you can click on this little eye, and you can choose to play a sound on your device. Even if your device is on silent, it will still make a noise. That noise that you hear is the noise that you would hear that would help you locate the device. You can play that as many times as you want in an attempt to find the device. If the device has no charge, this feature will not work. We recognize that there will likely be damage to some students' iPads. Do not attempt to fix an iPad yourself, nor take it to a repair shop. If your iPad fails to work or is damaged, report the problem to your school administration as soon as possible. iPad repair replacement options will be determined by the school district's electronic repair department. You will be issued a temporary iPad or other materials until your iPad is working properly or replaced. If the iPad is experiencing technical difficulties outside of school hours, you will need to wait until you return to school to fix it. If a student iPad is lost or stolen, the student or parent or guardian should notify a school administrator as soon as possible. If the iPad is determined to be truly lost or stolen, it will be disabled immediately and no one will be able to use the device until it is recovered and reset by district technology staff. Students will be issued one power cord at the start of the school year. The cord should stay home for charging. Like an iPad, chargers are the responsibility of the family. Students are expected to bring a fully charged iPad to school every day. A limited number of charging stations will be available at school. Additional resources for parents and students can be found on the district's Empowered website. From free web filters to a Google Safety Center to information about cyberbullying and a great resource called Common Sense Media. Please watch for more information about parent education sessions. You will hear about these through communication at your child's middle school.